Welcome, one and all. Welcome back to the first week of the Season 7 Baddie League. I'm just Dan, and alongside me is 30, my co-host. How are you doing tonight, 30?
I am doing good. How are you?
Doing okay. Just came off a game. Pretty tough. We had the enemy team down our throats a lot. You just came off a game where you played a pretty mediocre Corky. But we'll just kind of dive right into this game.
Yeah, let's dive right into it, everybody. So in game two tonight, we have on the blue side two Kawaii to live and two Sugoi to die. Cannonballs was the team owner for this team, and then on the purple side we have Waifu Superstar, who was drafted by Muffin.
That is correct. Now, if I am informed correctly, Muffin's team, they are almost an exact mirror of Team Swain. Is that correct?
It's pretty
From
close.
back in the day.
From back in the day.
Swain
yeah,
1.0.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Kragen's really the only one that wasn't on like a full-fledged Swain roster, but I mean, he's played with these guys plenty of times. Like the synergy on this team, I think actually might be the highest in the SBL.
Really?
Which is always a good thing to have.
Yeah, you can't replace good synergy. That's for sure.
Yeah, and man, these teams came prepared. They took their notes, did their homework, and the bans are flying out. 2K2S, which is Too Quiet to Live, Too Sugoi to Die. They banned Renekton, Jinx, and Fiora, so quite a few target bans there. AGS Zero Swift, he will be playing the top lane today, and he has always been a Renekton master. Otherwise, you're looking at very famous Salvo's Jinx, and then Fiora? I didn't know. I don't think that's really just a target ban. That's just sort of a strong pick.
Actually, Swift has really been playing a lot of Fiora lately. He's got a pretty big man crush on Fiora, from what I've heard. And I've seen him play it a few times these past few weeks, and it's pretty good if he can get snowballing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Fiora just in general is a super strong pick in competitive play. And first pick going out to the blue side, Epic Yandere is going to pick up Lucian. Very strong ADC at the moment. Just generally good in all matchups, so it's a pretty good first pick. Purple side, Waifu Superstar, they're going to answer with the Alistar and Gragas, which I really like. Super good tanky frontline nowadays. Alistar, I don't see Alistar not getting picked or banned for like the next ever. I think Alistar will be picked or banned in every game this season.
Yeah, I believe it. He's just a strong, heavy front line that you really need in a team. We'll see if they get that back line going with Salvo and Wang back there as the AP carry.
Oh yeah, and that's actually Tree's never been known as a big Alistar player. Like same with me. Like we never played Alistar, but I mean Alistar's just, like you said, just too good right now not to play.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was left open, Tree's gonna snatch him up, and then Boom Trooper and Zaku, they're gonna answer with Udyr and Janna. What do you I mean, what do you think about the Udyr pick?
I love Udyr. I think he's one of the most fun champions in the League of Legends to play, aside from Master Yi, of course. But I'm not sure how I feel about it in competitive play. I mostly just see him as sort of a solo queue stomp sort of champion. So we'll see if he's able to milk that all stairs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he isn't usually picked in competitive yet because he has quite a few weaknesses in organized play. Like he gets kind of around a lot. I mean, he only has Bear stance to try to get him into the fight and Flash, obviously. But I mean, he was picked this last week in LCS a few times, and
how did he do?
Yeah, well, Xmithie picked him twice in both the CLG games, and they beat Immortals and Cloud9 with it. So yeah, Runic Echoes. It's Runic Echoes Udyr is just like really strong. I think it's like the fastest farm in the jungle, aside from maybe Shyvana.
Yeah, if you get that Phoenix going, you're going to be clearing that jungle pretty quick. But these picks just flying by. I mean, we have Swift over there with the Jarvan pickup, Salvo getting the Tristana. They have a lot of peel for Tristana with all their picks so far. It looks like they're going to be playing a lot of Protect Salvo.
Yeah, I see that. Huh, yeah. I mean,
I'm just going to call it right now. I think that Udyr is going to have a pretty hard time chasing after those carries.
yeah. Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Tristana scales incredibly well into the late game. And my wing picks up Anivia. So the two damage threats on Waifu Superstar are Anivia and Tristana. And they really don't spike until mid-game. And then before that, you just have a lot of tankiness. So not a lot of damage overall in the early game. Team fights will go pretty well, so hopefully they can carry that on into a good dragon fight. But then late game, that team becomes absolutely scary if they can protect the two damage threats.
Yeah, that's going to be scary. We'll see if 2K2S is going to be able to try to get a large enough advantage to overcome that mid to late game that Team Hearts is going to have.
And to talk about more on the blue side here, they round out their composition with Janna, Orianna, and Sion. Now that's a pick I didn't expect to see today.
Gosh, I don't know how I feel about the comp on blue side, but how do you think? What do you think they're going for here, 30?
I'm not sure. So it's a really heavy skirmish team. Like all of these champions do well in like very short fights in the early game. I mean, yeah, I think their early game is definitely better. Janna and Lucian is so much better than Alistar Tristana. Like they can just bully them all day. The only thing that really keeps them in that lane is Alistar heal. Orianna, a good pick for Thrifty here. Ball targets are really just Udyr, I think. Sion doesn't really have a good way to get into the middle of the team aside from his ult.
See, that's the thing. I think if they just kind of lateral the ball back to Sion and he goes charging in with his ult, gets the knockup, gets the Orianna ult on top of that, that's a lot of damage right there, and if that might just give the Udyr enough time to get in there and disrupt what they're trying to do.
I see.
But
yeah, that'd be a pretty sick play if they actually lateral the ball back to Sion and he charges through the defensive line.
We'll see if they're able to do that, though. I mean, that seems like the only win condition in this sort of fight scenario that they'll be able to pull off. But maybe they have other plans.
Yeah, and I mean, Zaku's Janna, he's always been very good on Janna, been one of his key picks, especially last season. He had that one game where he just had like 2 to 3 Janna ults that just were spectacular. And Purple side sort of picked all these heavy engaged, and I mean, they had to have known Zaku was going to play Janna. I would have actually, if Waifu Superstar actually had this comp in mind, I would have banned Janna. And it seems like, why would you ban Zaku's champion? Like, it basically, Janna defeats that whole composition.
User joined your channel.
Hey, if you guys didn't get the message.
Yeah, no, I haven't got the message yet.
Alright, we are remaking.
Remaking game.
Remake? Okay.
Oh, yeah, we are, it shouldn't be too long, folks. There's a mastery bug for Kragan. So we're LCS now. We're just gonna switch out the computer entirely.
Perfect.
Because we have the funds to do that here at the SBL.
Yeah, well, that should take no more than 10 seconds because we are a well-oiled machine here. So we're going to cut the stream for 10 seconds, and then we will be back as soon as we have champions locked down. Sound good?
No, wait, what?
What? Do you want to...
Why are we going to cut the stream?
Can you talk? I'm so scared right now.
Hello?
Hello?
No, I don't think we should cut it, but...
Okay.
We can just keep talking because I love talking about team comps, dude.
Perfect. Well, I don't have the team comps in front of me, so you're gonna have to refresh. It just seemed like 2K2S just had such a great engage, but
You mean Waifu Superstar?
No, I mean 2K2S. I just Waifu Superstar. What I was gonna say just has such a beefy front line. I'm not sure they're gonna let any of that Sion get all up on their carries.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like,
they just have so much peel for their Tristana that Salvo's playing. It's gonna be hard to nail him down.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, Grog Assault, I think is one of the better ultimates in the game because it is so versatile. You can use it to engage, you can use it to disengage.
You got the damage. It skills.
Yeah, exactly. It's super low cooldown too. Yeah, so they definitely have hard engage. But yeah, I mean, even Alistar can disengage to a certain extent. Like, he can pop his ult and like sort of walk into the team and just pulverize and just sort of just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, stop, get out of here.
One thing I do have to point out though is that you gotta notice who is playing who, and it's Kragan on the Gragas, and he, for those who didn't know, went undrafted last season. So I am really gonna watch to see if he is able to hold his own here and show everybody that, hey, I should have been in the draft last season, and this is why, and see if he might be able to pull off some amazing Gragas ults with that very versatile ult.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, and I think junglers nowadays really make and break some games. It's like the jungle role nowadays actually has tons of impact throughout all stages of the game, really. I think junglers probably in the best spot they've been in a while. But to go off of that, I noticed this earlier, but I forgot to mention it. So Scotchnaut is actually on the roster for Kawaii to 2K2S. He's on the roster, but he is not playing today. Boom Trooper.
What's up with that?
I don't know, but I assume Boom Trooper. I don't know actually who their sub was, quote unquote. I mean, they had Boom Trooper that went for 50 cents. Zaku went for 0. But I mean, this is his 3rd season of SPL, so he's sort of been tried and tested. And then RNG K's Okami, he went for $1. So I don't know who they actually would have benched here. I think Zaku would have started, so it would have been between I think 2 rookies, K's Okami and Boom Trooper, both rookies for this season. Same with Epic, actually. Wow, does this team have 3 rookies?
Wow, this team is young.
It is very young, and I mean, Thrifty is really the glue that's going to hold this team together. Hopefully his shot calling and leadership can sort of help this team thrive.
I think if they wanted anyone to sort of meld these rookies together, it'd be Thrifty on that team. I think that was a bit of good drafting on who drafted this team again? Cannonballs?
Cannonballs, yeah. UTech.
Well, way to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but just looking at these team comps, I just don't see a way around this beefy front line of all stairs. Let alone the Nivea wall. Gosh, there's just so much they have to get around.
Udyr's gonna have a bad day, but I'm sorry, they are only running 2 damage threats, and I found that one of the cruxes of doing that is like if you don't get ahead and these damage threats aren't being threats, then your team comp just like sort of wet noodles the enemy team. You can't really do anything. You have a bunch of CC and lockdown, but Tristan and Nivea, they're going to be behind, so they don't do enough damage in a short amount of time. If Udyr and Lucian, maybe Orianna, if they get big, I think they might have to respect that. Udyr can split push, but he's a jungler, doesn't have teleport. Well. Yeah, I mean, Sion, he's just going to build super tanky. I don't think he becomes a good split pusher. Well, actually, I take that back. Nowadays, due to the great items in League of Legends, we have an item called CC Rot Portal.
Yes.
And it makes tanks pushers. And actually, it doesn't really make the tank the split pusher. It just makes a thing that becomes a split pusher. It makes the portal.
It gives you.
You just put that in the lane and you walk away.
It's the 6th man on the field of justice, really.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he opts into that bypath. Now, I think it's kind of token for any team that I see Swift on to sort of build for that mid or late game and just turtle up until they just become giant monsters, which this team eventually will become. So I think one of the main ways that 2K2S is going to win is just hyper aggression throughout the whole early game into the mid game.
I totally agree. Yeah, like I said earlier, like the early skirmishes is where this team comp thrives. So I really hope that they're going to make some big plays. Like their bot lane is so good against Alistar Triss. Like I don't know. I mean, Zaku's always been sort of a passive player in the laning phase. I don't know anything about Boom Trooper, but I really hope they recognize how good their lane is and they try to push it in. Maybe even call over Udyr. Those 3 alone can get tons of tower damage early, and maybe take an early bottom tower, transition that into dragons. Open up for a good dragon fight with Orianna ultimates early on. Something. Yeah, I don't think they can just sit around idly and let this Waifu superstar team farm.
Very true.
All right, and we are on the loading screen. We're gonna take a look at Keystone Masteries because that's always fun. I wish does it not show Keystones in the spectator at all?
It does not. Nope. Unfortunately. Keystones
Okay,
are a big part of this season. In case for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time in season 7.
6.
I mean season 7 of the SBL.
Season 7 of the SBL. Yes. Man, we gotta sync those up.
Yeah, we gotta hustle. Or wait, would we
Right,
slack one?
We have to hustle.
Yeah, right. Catch up. Come on, we need your help here.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at the Keystones, everything looks pretty similar. But Thrifty Senpai, he is, dangerously close to a Gragas and a Nivea, and they're directly out of vision right now. I think.
They are.
Oh, no,
I don't even
think he sees Wang.
Yeah, he would have seen Wang there.
Okay. Yeah, red team, all Waifu Superstar. They are all kind of grouped up near this Wraith cramp. I don't know what they're looking for here. 2K2S, they have a ward in the river, so they see this invade coming. Let's see if they try to answer it. Yeah, the bot lane for 2K2S, they're gonna recognize this, and they're gonna go into the enemy blue. They might just trade blues here, but looks like they're just getting the wards down for Waifu Superstar.
Yep, looks like pretty standard stuff. Ward and then get out of there just to keep vision on where the enemy jungler is.
Yeah, both teams know this, that they're in the opposing jungles.
I don't think Sion knows they're in that bush.
Oh, I hope
he sees them now.
Okay, yep, and they're double jungling here. Swift and Kragan, they're going to do the double jungle here. 3 men trying to take the blue buff here real quick. And that's alright, because, yeah, I guess bot lane doesn't really have anywhere to go. They do know that the enemy bot lane is going to be a while before they get there. And, yeah, just blue trades around the map here.
It looks like it's back to your regularly scheduled programming. Gragas is still at there, blue. Looks like he's going to get Gromp as well.
Ooh, Wang in the good cue ball. I don't even know what the hell that's called.
We're going to call that Ice Ball. A very
Ice
technical
ball.
name.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna call that Ice Ball. It's called Flash Frost, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna call it Ice Ball.
AJS getting a ton of damage on Sion top.
Ooh, yeah, this is really going in his favor. And now that's expected. Jarvan has a really good early game here.
Looks like Sion kind of recognized that and started cloth on her first.
Yeah, Kragan visits the top lane. Just
gonna walk in and say, hey, back up a little bit.
Yeah, Wang and Thrifty trading in the mid lane here. Orianna with that built-in auto attack passive, so getting a little more damage than probably is expected. Yeah, hitting Swift the Scion Q. Okay, interesting. Zaku shields himself, but I don't think he autoed anything there. He just got a shield Lucian.
You get a little afraid. You gotta shield yourself.
Oh,
AJS
huge minion wave here up top for Swift. Yeah, RNG Kazukami, he has to respect this. He cannot trade inside that wave.
Looks
Oh,
like
an epic Yandere on the Udyr. Double buffs coming in, flashes the bear stun, and Wang is super low. He shows the champion mastery because why not? And a lot of damage comes down, and that is first blood going over to Thrifty Senpai.
And there's that hyper aggression that they really need to capitalize on early.
Yeah, that is great. I mean, Wang was way too pushed up. I mean, even with the flash, he nearly didn't even get to his tower. And the egg's not going to save him there with the tons of damage that Udyr puts out in the early game. So that's, yeah, exactly like you said, that's probably the best start for 2K2S.
Especially on Thrifty, getting that damage is...
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be big.
Yeah, because Nvidia has a very tough time in their early phase. Like, yeah, Wang's going to come back with a Sapphire Crystal. Like, doesn't come back with either Catalyst or Tier. Yeah, it's going to be a hard laning phase for Wang today.
As a mid laner, if you're going tier first and your first back doesn't include that item, you're in for a pretty hard laning phase.
Yeah, that is very true. Bot lane pretty equal in CS here. Most lanes are fairly even in CS. Swift doing just a tiny bit better than Kazukami, but I think that's expected in that matchup. Oh wow, yeah, this is really close, man. Neither of them bring in Ignite, so don't expect any kills, I don't think. Ooh, Wang getting actually tons of damage down. Good combo there. Hits the Ice Ball into the Ice Shard.
For those of you who don't know, Ice Shard attacks first. So, explain Thunderlords and the nerf to me, because I was not aware that Thunderlords was stronger than it is right now. How were the numbers just bigger? Why did they have to nerf that?
It used to be crazy. I don't know, there was 2 or 3 patches ago it got nerfed. And I think there was another nerf before that, before I even got seriously like into Season 6. When Season 6 came out, I think Thunderlords was just straight up broken, and people started to learn that, and then games would have 10 players with Thunderlords degree.
Gotcha.
That's how good it was. But it's still, it's still very, very good. It's very good in the early game, but I think for some mid lane mages, Deathfire Touch actually scales better into the late game, so there's a little bit more choice there. But for the most part, Thunderlords is good. Still pretty good on a lot of champions. Like, I ran it on Corki last game. Anyone that has a lot of abilities to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
was gonna note that one Keystone Mastery that I thought was a little strange is that
Thrifty getting the ult!
Ultimate onto Wang here in the mid lane.
That Ignite's gonna get him.
Yeah.
Wow,
easy
that
kill. Thrifty recognized that.
That shockwave with Orianna looked like it was just in the range of Nivea there. Good play by Thrifty there. Just snowballing that lead now to 2-0. 8 CS above. Let's see what he gets when he dies.
Yeah, absolutely. Wang had to, I feel like he had to know to respect that, you know, Thrifty knows he doesn't have flash. Wang brought Ignites, so there's like no kill pressure back on Thrifty here. Yeah, Thrifty, being the good mid laner that he is, recognizes when the kill is possible. But I was going to say, the one interesting keystone that I saw is that Swift on Jarvan is bringing Thunderlord's Decree. That's how good it is. Because to me, I feel like, I mean, he's going for, you know, sort of the AD assassin type Jarvan, you know? So I guess that helps with Thunderlords. But I mean, if you want this game to go late, Strength of the Undying or whatever, that not Strength of Ages, Grasp of the Undying, that would have been better. Strength of Aegis would have been better. Bond of Stone, anything in that tree, I think might have been better. But I'm not a top laner.
I don't know.
Player.
I have to agree with him taking Thunderlords just because of the damage you can do in the top lane. You can really snowball it for yourself into the mid game, and maybe, as Swift likes to do, he's just going to try to carry his team from any role that he can.
That is true, yeah.
And he's up, 16 CS at this point, so it looks like it's working out in his favor.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Oh, there you go, there's that Thunderlord proc, yeah. Kami, I don't think he can do anything here. He's trapped inside the Jarvan. He has to flash out while it's on the bottom side. Tree goes in for a headbutt pulverize. Zaku, though, I think is going to shield most of the damage from that bomb. And Sign without a flash now is a very easy target. I expect Kragan to make a visit up top, but he's going to go blue buff. Probably give that off to his mid laner.
Okay, as a jungler, if I see my mid laner struggling, I don't want to give him that blue buff. He's just going to give it to the carry, and it's all downhill from there. So I would keep that for myself, but we'll see if they peer pressure Kragan into tossing it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, here comes Anivia with the ice ball.
Yeah, with the ice ball and the ice shards and the freezy zone. Boom, yeah. The freezy zone, okay. So how's this bot lane doing? Salva's still coming out with a little bit of a CS lead here. Equal in items, but actually Boom Trooper, he's doubling it down and he's getting that early longsword. That's what I like to see, but a good headbutt pulverize combo into Boom Trooper. The bomb is going to go off. Another auto. Shield actually shields most of the damage.
Yep, that actually negated all the damage. That was a well-placed shield and a well-placed Janna Tornado there.
Yeah.
Saku living up to his great Janna.
Without the Howling Gale there, that would have been a lot more damage. Okay, well, so still 2-0 here in favor of 2K2S. About 1,000 gold lead. A lot of like red side wards. Red wards.
Red wards, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really good. They really are laying down a bunch of vision on that Udyr, which I think they really wanted to prioritize after he got that kill in the early game.
Oh yeah, headbutt Zaku back. Zaku tries to Janna ult the members back into the tower there. Tree has to use his ultimate. Triss is super low right now. And Salvo is trying to run back into the jungle. Epic Yandere, he's on duty. He's in the Dragon Pit. He waits for the flash, but Thrifty's able to pick up that kill before he does any damage here. And Tree will most likely get out, though. He had to flash over Dragon Wall as well. And Thrifty laying down the zone here. And I think that's going to be a Dragon over for 2K2S. Another kill for them on the board.
Yep. That's an easy Dragon.
Yep. Oh, now Swift's getting beat up here by Keizo Kami.
He's got the standard whoosh to get out of there.
Standard whoosh, yeah. And he goes for that early Tiamat, which is, I think, pretty standard top lane Jarvan build.
That with the Thunderlord's burst, he's going to be doing quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, and once the team fights start happening, and once he like teleports down for a fight, yeah, some squishy's gonna die. Like Lucian or Orianna will pretty much die from the combo straight up.
Now Lucian's gonna be able to dash out of that Thunderdome. I think if he puts it down on top of Thrifty after he throws the ball away, that's gonna be a pretty quick kill unless he gets his Zonias in there.
Yeah, that is most likely true here, but he's going in on Keizo Kami. He knows he doesn't have the flash there, and yeah, look at that damage. Zion, he's
holding his own for a while.
Yeah,
but...
he had a valiant fight there, and his passive,
oh gosh!
Swift. Oh my god, one auto away, health pot ticking, and he flag and drags away.
I know Swift's butthole is a little clenched right there. He was expecting Zion to just blow up, but Zion holding his own for a couple seconds after that Thunderdome goes down. Which is known as Cataclysm for those who think I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, no, I think by now they know. People think that we have no idea what the abilities are named in this game.
I just prefer to make up the names. It's just so much fun.
That's really a lot more fun. I don't know if Rye does a good job of naming the abilities all the time.
We do. I think we do a better job of naming the abilities, if
exactly.
we're being honest here.
Yeah.
But to each their own.
Yeah, exactly.
So if we look at the scoreboard now, 2K2S up 3-1, playing aggressive, up almost at 1K gold. How are we doing in towers though? I'm indirecting camera, but if you could tell us the tower damage that's been put down, does it look pretty even to you?
Maybe, but I'm in directed camera too.
Okay, well we're watching.
Man, Tristal laying down the damage on Lucian. Lucian didn't have heals, so he really didn't have a way to outplay that at all.
No, he just had to kind of take it. Unless he could have backed up, but who does that in these games nowadays anyway?
Red Pink's going out. They see Epic Yandere on the Udyr. He's in the opposing jungle right now. He's just counter jungling to his heart's content here.
I think Anivia and Gragas could rotate over onto him, but they are just so tunneled on this kill.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the freezy zone goes down, but then Kragan knocks Thrifty out. But I think Thrifty actually flashed. He predicted the Groggle. Yeah.
No, Kragan belly flashed and got this the knockback there, but Thrifty is just too fast, too furious.
It was Swift going in again, but he was stunned after he took the E there.
Well, he was knocked up, and then there was an awkward second where they were back to back, and they just said, okay, well, timeout.
Yeah. I'm
gonna run away now. But it seems like Sion's starting to really outdamage Swift, which I think is surprising. And it looks like Swift is going, he's going the more damage-focused Tiamat option. Rather than
Ravenous Hydra. Yeah,
Ravenous Hydra, there we go, rather than Titanic.
Yeah, and something to note for that, this patch, you can't switch between them for free anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw that last patch, and I didn't get to take advantage of it, but...
Yeah.
Good to know.
I think top Jarvan players would have done that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to get the Ravenous Hydra early, and then when it gets to the super late game, Titanic will offer more damage there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, 3-1 here, about a 1.5k gold lead for 2K2S. They're up a dragon as well, and they just picked up Rift Herald, and they gave it over to Keizo Kami in that top lane. So try to help him out to keep that top lane push. Maybe they're looking for a top tower here. Wang flashing out from a potential Orianna ultimate. Kraken comes in, headbutts the mini wave, and then when he gets the ult back onto 30 standby, and he's got a really bad place though. Two-man Orianna ult, he's still alive. Kraken can't get to him.
Sion ult coming down.
Oh, but Swifty flashes over the Rift Herald wall, and boom, down goes Thrifty Senpai here in the scuffle in the top lane river here. In Kazokami, he is too low, and he's gonna get beat up by this beefy front line. The exhaust goes down, but he flashes away from the EQ from Jarvan. Will he survive here? Flash?
He will not survive.
Oh my god, he shielded it! Oh,
And he's
man.
down. There goes the Baron, the Herald.
Yeah. Yeah, Kragan coming in with that last cask. The cask of his last life.
Now,
No, that didn't work. I don't know. But that was a long chase. There was 3 members engaged in that, 4 members at one point for Waifu Superstar. And let's see what Boom Trooper can do on the opposite side of the map. Wang and Tree and Kragan are going to push in this mid wave, and I think they're able to get the mid tower, so that hopefully they can answer
30.
down bot.
if I might be able to interject here, you could say that Kragan gave him the casket. Ha ha!
Oh, there you
Got
go.
him. But no, I hate to point out when people do poorly, which is a lie. I like to do that. I think I heard the Scion ult come out, but I think he was so close to a wall there, he actually negated it before he could run down that river, getting to that fight late. I think if he would have executed that a bit better. But I'm just going off of what I heard. That Scion global ult sound is just pretty terrifying.
No, that's true. Yeah, man. Wish we had input for this fight. I mean, that did happen. I think that changes that fight entirely, though. Kragan gets
Sweet
ulted.
Jesus.
And Bang goes down. Kragan throws the casket to try to be like, get out of here. I'm dead anyway.
Yeah, and he
Oh
dies
man,
to the
Thrifty's just solo killing left and right.
And that just really shows how strong he is on that Oriana.
I mean, just in general, like that's just awareness of being a good League player, to know how far you can get. And he knew Kragan was definitely in the kill zone, ignites.
And that's the thing,
Throws
he
down the
was in the
shockwave,
kill
yeah.
zone, but he was also full health when that altercation started. So 100 to
Like
0,
Kragan
a
was.
big tanky Gragas, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. And he did go Runic Echoes, but yeah, you're right. I mean, he has Spectre's Cowl too, which is mitigating magic damage. So
Exactly.
wow, I don't think Kragan expected that for sure.
I sure know I did.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I probably wouldn't have expected it. But Thrifty, he knows what's up. I mean, he's pretty fed right now. He's got the Merlot Namicon. I did see what he had before that fight. He now has Sorcerer's Shoes and the needlessly large rod. He's going for Runic Echoes, or no? What is?
That builds into Luden's Echo.
Yeah, Luden's Echo. That's it. For even more wave clear, just general damage on top of everything. Oriana has pretty good AP ratios, so that should help him out in going into the mid game here. We're 17 minutes in, but the goalie's actually going over to Waifu Superstar. They did pick up that mid tower, so that did help them. It's 1 tower to 0 right now. Wow, this game is super slow right now. Zaku shields himself, trying to lay down the auto attack damage onto Tree, and Tree just takes half his life. He just seemed to walk around. I don't know what he was doing in there.
I think it's around this time we're going to see Sugoi Superstar really start to pick up like they wanted to. It's 18 minutes in, gold lead is starting to swing in their favor. They're 1 tower up. I think now is when they really need to start making plays.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Salvo has that Infinity Edge. Wang finally able to complete that Catalyst, and now he's got the tier, so he is slowly ramping up, getting to that mid to late game where Nivea really shines. Oh, Kazokami getting caught up again by Swift in the top lane, but Tree also goes in at the bottom lane. It seems like they synced that up, man. Do you think the top lane and the bot lane are like, yeah, we're gonna go in at the same time, let's go?
I think so, just to kind of mess with the automated camera.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
so
alright.
Waifu Superstar, a team made of trolls.
I mean, honestly, that's not false.
Okay, that's true, yeah. Wang spotting the Bank Lord here. He's gonna pick that up for free. Gotta slap it with his wings.
I think you're a little bit behind me. Not gonna lie, I hate to interrupt, but
Yeah.
right now, Udyr is slapping the shit out of Kragan there.
Yep. Oh, we got
Kragan with
the
that.
Brago back to the wall, and Zaku gets deleted from Salvo here. Boom Trooper trying to use the calling to clear the way. He's down some damage, but he cannot save that bottom lane tower. Now 2 towers for Waifu Superstar here. Epic Yandere gonna get the stun on Swift here, and we have 5 members from Waifu Superstar pushing down this bottom lane. Thrifty's rotating from the mid, so they're gonna answer with 4. And Waifu
Looks like-
Superstar, they're gonna call that a day.
Yep, they
Back
got
off.
a tower, they got a kill. It's time to hit the hay. Go back, take a nap at shop, and buy a new item.
Yeah, Dragon's not up for a bit, and yeah, they'll take that as a win. Use that gold they just got in their pockets to buy some more items. Salvo gonna get that zeal, and he's getting really strong right now. Boon Tripper, he's only sitting on the Essence Reaver. I'm curious on what he's gonna do for boots. It's about 50-50 nowadays. Some Lucians go cooldown boots. So along with Essence Reaver, when you get the 30% cooldown from it, you're maxed out, so you can dash a lot in the late game, or you just go for Greaves and get some more damage overall. Or I guess swiftness in previous patches, but I think people are moving away from that.
Are you talking on Swift?
On Lucian.
On Lucian, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen Essence Reaver more and more lately as a first item on a few AD carries. What dictates whether you should go Essence Reaver over an Infinity Edge first item?
Pretty much just on if you want to use your abilities a lot.
Okay.
So, I mean, with Lucian...
Lucian, I can see it, but
right.
Misfortune, would you go Reaver on first? What about...
I don't know, it depends. So, when MF was initially reworked, her Make It Rain, the E apparently was like really good and did tons of damage, and then when Thunderlords was super good, MF was super good. There was a point where MF was actually had a positive win rate as a support. I'm not even joking
wow.
here. Yeah, you'd max Make It Rain, and because Make It Rain procs Thunderlords every time, because you know every tick of it is an ability usage in Thunderlord's book, so it was crazy.
Okay.
It's a different time, but yeah, MF maybe. I mean, you use Q a lot in lane.
All right.
Lucian, Corki, you know, people who want to use the abilities.
Kragan just belly bumping in there. One of those, hey, I'm here. Watch out.
Yeah,
Looks like
and,
they're gonna take top tower for free, practically.
Yeah, dude. The
Swift getting
Waifu
the
Superpower
TP.
is just a team of big bullies. Big old beefy bullies. I mean, Keizo Kame, he could not do anything there to try to help defend his tower. No one was there on his team there, I mean, as well. Howling Gale comes in, knocks up Wang. Breezy Zone goes down. Oh my god, that's some damage there. I mean, that broke through into level 5 Jana shield, I believe.
Yep,
Nice ball
that is level
comes
5.
Out.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage he put out. I think 460 damage in one icicle.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and...
No, after you, I insist.
Well, Dragon is up and Waifu Superstar, they recognize they're in the driver's seat here. They're up 3k, and they had the outer ring towers down. They're doing such a good job of knocking those down methodically. And Keizo Kame, he was trying to get the top lane tower, but the bird is the word, and My Wang's up there to try to persuade him not to do that. Epic Yandere going in on Tree. Tree is away from his team. The Yandere keep going in on this, but there's a fight that breaks over on the jungle wall, maybe? Well, the camera's following Udyr, 1v1
Yep.
the Alistar.
That was a pretty cool 1v1 automated camera. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Boom Trooper just laying down the damage.
Wow.
Sure, Tree
They're putting a lot of
has
damage out
flash
on
here.
Tree right now.
He's just delaying. He's just taking it for free. He has the ult is popped, but Boom Trooper, the calling is down, but he's not hitting enough, and Tree had to use his heal, but Salvo had to use his heal too.
Now it is 3 dragons to 3 towers here.
Interesting, okay.
2K2S getting the 3rd dragon there practically for free. It seems like every dragon they've gotten has been practically uncontested. They've just done such a good job of selling it out.
Yeah, and maybe that's Waifu Super just respecting how fed Thrifty is, because one Shockwave in a team fight will it will not only be the dragon, it'll be like 4 kills and then a mid lane tower, maybe even 2. I mean, eventually these teams are gonna clash. They're gonna clash 5v5, and
It's just a matter of when.
yeah, exactly. And Thrifty, I think at this point is the target. The Grog assaults are gonna be targeted towards him. Cataclysms, the whole thing. It's gonna be a real mission to take down Thrifty. Swift is roaming in the river here, just making sure he can back up his bottom lane. I think 2K2S, they need to take down a tower. They still haven't. It's 24 minutes into the game. If they want this team comp to get into the late game, they're gonna need to take down a tower.
Now Salva's alone up here. Actually,
Ooh,
it
not-
looks like
not
their
for
friends
long.
are gonna come in closing in here.
Oh yeah, Swift. He started to collapse. I think Yandere, he sees this. He has Bear Stun going, but he's not going to go too far into the enemy jungle without vision. So nothing happens here.
Wow.
I think both teams are just rotating around the map and looking to see if they can catch someone out. It is very dangerous, though, for 2K2S to push up on these towers because they don't have any outer towers themselves to run to. So they have to play very careful here. 3 men meet down in the bottom lane for 2K2S to try to get their first tower of the game, but it's answered with a 4-man push from Waifu Superstar, Thrifty and Keizo Kame. Let's see if they can try to wave clear and keep this one alive. Boom Trooper is going to stay committed to getting that bottom tower, so I think this is going to be the first tower of the game going over to 2K2S here, yep. But half health on this mid lane tower.
Let's see if they have the wave clear here to keep it off the tower. Looks like Lucian's walking back to mid.
Yep.
Rather than
looks like he is.
pushing.
He's looking for that epic flank.
Well, we'll see if he can pull it off. Looks like they have Swift and Tree over here in the side.
Oh, Boom Trooper on the side. He had to be super careful there.
Yeah, they easily could have turned that around. Especially with all the damage that Swift is doing right now.
Yeah, oh man, Swift got chunked out though. I think Thrifty landed a cute little QW combo on him. But this 2K2S team is like, they're really threatening in the jungle. Like in these open areas, they are kind of threatening, it seems like. Udir's actually putting off a good amount of threats.
His Bear Water was very intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, oh, this is cool. So he went Skirmisher Saber, which I think is awesome. It's a very cool item that I think a lot of people undervalue. And then he went Iceborne Gauntlet with Ninja Tabbies, man.
He's going to keep him slow, and he's going to keep him there so his team can beat him up.
I like that. This is a pretty interesting Udyr build, and I like it a lot, actually. The armor, the Ninja Tabby is so good against this team, though. Like, Swift and Salvo are the 2 big damage sources right now.
Looks like they're catching
Wang. Huh?
They're chasing Swift in this top lane.
Oh, yeah.
He's putting down the Iceborne Gauntlet.
Yeah, but the Rock's ultimate went out, and Nako gets caught out, though. He's still alive. Red Buff is picking, shield goes down, but it's not going to be enough. Cooper trying to do his best. Has to use a summoner heal, and they're keep diving. The Waifu Superstar front line's too tanky. Keizo Kame, he gets knocked out of power range, and Tree, he tanked all of that. With the Alistar ultimate, Keizo Kame, he's in that passive, but he's not going to be able to do enough damage, and Swift up top survived as well. So 2 deaths for 2K2S, and I think they got the mid tower there as well. But Wang on the retreat gets caught out, so it's going to be a trade back. 1 for 2. Overall, though, a gain for Waifu Superstar.
Oh, Epic is on the hunt for that Tristana.
Yeah. So 4 towers now. Oh, nice. Okay, good mid push from 2K2S. They knew that the enemy team had to back. They were a little low after that last debacle. But oh man, look at Thrifty and Epic do a surprising amount of damage to a tower.
Yeah, and that just comes from what you said before. Udyr can just put out a lot of damage on a tower in a short amount of time, especially with getting that Iceborne Gauntlet, getting that extra damage from that, plus his stance dancing is enough to chunk that tower pretty far down. I think, what is it at now? 2/5 health?
Yeah,
we'll see if they
like
put
that.
out a siege here, or if they try to get that last outer tower in the top lane. Yeah, relatively slow game. Almost 30 minutes in, and it's 5-6. This is really playing into into Team Heart's favor.
Waifu Superstar?
Yeah, because it's going into that late game, which they really wanted with the champs that they chose. 2K2S is really going to need to close this game out pretty soon here. Otherwise, I don't see much going on for them in the late game.
That is true.
Catching Thrifty out.
Thrifty, he gets caught out, and there's no way he's surviving that. Now we're going to still the fight here. Epic has to run through the freezy zone and get ice balled.
And that's
2 easy kills. Yeah, first dragon of the game for Waifu Superstar. 30 minutes in, the first dragon, the one that gives you the AP and AD percentage is very big right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Actually adding tons of gold value to their team. And yeah, they're straight rotating over. Swift call from HS0 here, and easy dragon into it. Probably a very easy Baron. Look at all that vision they set up for this Baron. Very good here. Keizukami recognizes this. He sees them in the pit. I don't know how much he can do. Zaku is there too with the Howling Gale. There's no way they can try to fight this. There's no way they can even try to steal this. Boom Trooper is not in a position to even help out. And Baron goes over for free to Waifu Superstar. And they take a 3k gold lead.
That is huge. They were up about 1.7k at the beginning of that whole mutation. They take out Orianna. They got one more. Can't remember who that was. But then they get a dragon, and then that straight retreat back to the Baron. Absolutely big. I think now is when the game really gets sort of out of control.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Waifu Superstar, they're gonna have to misplay pretty hard to lose this game. Salvo right now, 2-1-3. He's got the IE, he's got the static shift, he's going for that Bloodthirster, but man, with Baron buff and his bombs, towers are gonna melt. I expect them to just finish up those two outers in top and bottom, and then maybe start a split push scenario here. Swift has teleport, and I think he can bully around Sion still, because he has a huge lead over him. Sion is 0-3 right now. He's only got the Frozen Heart and Spirit Visage. Yeah, I don't think he can fight. I don't think he can go toe-to-toe with pretty much anyone on that team. He just... I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think here?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of ways that that 2K2S can kind of do damage control and slow this just cannonball that's rolling down the hill at them. And gosh, I just don't see any way that they can pull this out. They're really gonna have to dig deep.
Dig deep and
they gotta do the lateral. They gotta do the lateral play.
That's the Hail Mary here.
I mean, Udyr is rotating around. He might get the flank. Otherwise, no, he's scared of that pinch. He's gonna back up here.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna ask you that, but you read my mind. What does 2K2S have to do here? Oh my god.
Gosh, I just told you. I don't know. I'm at a loss. I am at a loss right now. If they can pull it out, I will be the first to say you told me wrong, but I just don't know what they can do. They have such a large gold lead over 2K2S. They're
oh my god, give up this tower. Do not stay in this tower.
Run away.
Oh my god, yeah. Kragan was on the back there with the flank, but Swift and Tree, they're on the front lines. They're looking for the engage here. Oh, this is so sketchy, man.
It looked like
minion wave too.
It looked like Udyr on the side was able to sort of deter that engage that was just opening up, but I mean, you can only deter that for so long.
Tree goes in, he lays down the first CC. He is taking the tower, has an ultimate. He gets knocked back way deep into the base here, and at the gun there, he's going deep into the back line here. Swift goes in with a 3-man cataclysm, but Kragan knocks all of them out of the cataclysm.
Kragan, you're so silly.
Kragan! Oh man, at the end of the day, no one dies. It's just a wash. Baron is running out. I can't believe that. Alistar ults down. Alistar had to use exhaust and flash there. Oh man, but I mean, they still have Baron. They still have amazing wave clear, power pushing abilities with Keizukami. He gets too deep, and he actually doesn't go down from that salvo bomb. That is surprising. I guess he knows that Frozen Heart, so he
It looks like they're just gonna back up. They got a top tower and nothing else.
I think that gives 2K2S hope here.
Yeah. They now have faith. When it was all looking so bleak.
Support and ADCs in the scoreboard? That's what I'm hearing?
No, this is correct. Everybody else is wrong.
Alright. I don't know how you have it. Oh wait, I do see that now. Wow. Okay. We'll go with that.
You better stand by me right now, 30.
Yeah, no, I'm standing by you as a fellow caster. I'll stand by your choice. It's a choice.
It's a correct choice. Well, we're gonna use that already.
Yeah, okay. And Wang picking up the blue buff here, and he is definitely back into this game now. Had a rough early game against Thrifty, but he did pick a Nevia, so he knew he just had had to wait this out 34 minutes in the game. He has Seraph's fully stacked Rod of Ages, and he's got the Void Staff, and he's got the Neos Large Rods, which I assume will be a death cap. And welcome back to Season 2, folks. Like, Anivia will just flash. He's gonna freezy zone and then ice ball you, and then lay down this like super slow moving ice shard, and you're dead. You're dead.
That's it. You're just dead.
You're
He
dead.
gotcha. You're dead. Leave it in.
Yeah.
So
Now Epic Gandari, he's in the bottom lane here. Oh, he has actually attacking for his team. Dragon's up in 20 seconds. Where Keizukami, he's top lane. He does have teleport. Swift also has teleport, but he is not opting to split push here. And, oh my god, big old engage coming in from Alistar here, but Epic Gandari lays out the bear slap to try to stop it, and he gets caught out. Good wall there by Anivia. Swift goes in, another Grog is able to knock him out of the Cataclysm, but I think it doesn't matter at this point. 4-man shockwave!
not gonna
It
be
doesn't matter
enough.
though. He's too far behind. This game's over.
This is it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's two folks dead. I
Stop
thought that was
going for
actually-
Dragon. Cut it out.
Yeah.
Go win the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's a local objective. I'm not disagreeing with the call, and because it goes down so fast, it seems pretty obvious. But just go bot.
We'll see where they go. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll let them make the calls. We're not playing the game.
That's
They're making
true.
the call
And,
to go mid, and they have a very large wave. So
That is true. Yeah. Oh, Boom Trooper! You gotta respect it. Oh, look at that quick.
Anivia shielding him from the
cool
DPS.
Lucian dash to get out of like all of that. He basically dashed out of a certain. All right, so they pushed in the mid wave, and now they realize that they have a huge wave piling up, but it doesn't matter. Actually, Tree's
They're
just
just
gonna
gonna
tank this
tank
tower. Yeah, against Salvo. Oh, Jonas shield. Here we go. Stopping the push. All right. I mean, this game, 37 minutes here, 6K gold lead for Waifu Superstar, 5 towers to 3. The only thing K2S is going from is they have 3 dragons. As opposed to 2, I guess. And Baron is up. Waifu Superstar, they all recall. They set up all their vision on the wrong side of the map, though. Hopefully their wards are going to be coming back up.
Yeah.
Well, actually, wait a minute. They have 3 sweepers. Wow. Well, what? Actually, Kraken has sweeping lens. He did not get the Oracle lens. Swift has it, Tree has it, and they only have 1 warding totem.
Why do you
Why
think he kept his the red trinket that he has right now? Why don't you think he went to shooting? Is there any advantage?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Maybe just an oversight. He's so worried about buying all these other tank items, he just forgot to upgrade it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I guess the only advantage is sweeping lens can be cast from a distance, where Oracle lens, it's above you. But I mean, this is late game. Like you should know already. If you use blue trinket, you should be able to like walk into an area. And he's grog. Like I don't know.
Whatever.
They started Baron. Okay, Waifu Superstar stopped. They started Baron, opting in Swift to use his teleport. Keizukami, he's on the other side of the map. He doesn't have teleport though, but he does have Scion ult. Is he gonna?
Looks like they're just
down the lane here, and he does. Scion ultimate has started, and they're going in on the Zaku and Drifty. General comes out to try to protect Drifty in the back line here. Keizukami, he goes from the back. Drifty lays down the shockwave, but it's not enough. Salvo's on the side. Free hit, a double kill for him. 4 knockups, triple kill for Salvo. He's got the red buff and the blue buff. And folks, this game is over. Salvo with the quadra. Will he get the penta?
Nope. Lucian ran away. He's
Boom
like, fuck
Trooper
that.
pieced the fuck out of there.
No pentas today. I'm out of here.
Boom Trooper was practically on the pad when that fight was finishing up. But he
just pieced out
so
of there.
early. He was like, nah, fuck this. He just ran away. Holy shit.
I mean, I guess they had to fight in that situation. I mean, you give up Baron, the game's over. You don't fight Baron, game's over. Fight Baron, try to win, lose it, game's over.
Well, I don't know. Okay, Zaku's up. Nah,
No, they have...
It's relatively short death timers here, but it's still not enough. This team's way too far ahead, and you have Salvo. He's a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
7-1-4.
And I know right now Swift
On the
is fully
Tristana.
erect. He's not going to pull back.
Oh no, that is for sure in the win. Going over to Waifu Superstar, looking good, looking clean.
And Swain 1.0.
Starting off the season. Exactly. Starting off the season strong.
Shows that synergy really does come in handy.
Yeah, I think they were kind of a well-oiled machine there. They had really crisp, clean rotations, and that's expect out of Swift's team. But I think everyone, like you said, everyone has been playing together for so long. Everyone's kind of already on the same page. I don't think Swift even needs to say a lot here.
Very true. Well, who would you want to call into this caster's booth? Who do you think the MPP was?
The MPP.
Yeah, the most poised player. Is that what it is?
Yeah. No, that's
Okay,
right.
Good. You know what? Let's call in. Do you want to call in Swift? I hate to inflate his ego,
I know.
but I want to hear him tell me how big of an idiot I am for having the ADC and support the way that I like it.
Yeah, that's okay. That's good. I mean,
Okay.
Swift played phenomenally, but can we get two?
Yeah,
Let's get
definitely. Let's get two in here. Let's get
User joined your channel.
Let's get Swift in. Who else do you want to bring in here? 30.
I was gonna say Tree.
Tree. Let's get Tree. In
But
here.
I want to award Sal the MVP.
Okay, Salvo MPP. Well done.
MVP, yeah, he's the most poised. player.
Because his positioning
I'll
in
agree
those
with
fights
that.
was really
Yeah.
User
Superb.
joined your channel.
So,
Yeah.
on Salvo's positioning, it's actually funny because last night we were practicing, our last night of practice where we went over our draft strategy for today and then practiced a little bit. And before we started for the night, I was like, guys, I need to ask you a philosophical question. In a vacuum, what's more important, diving Alice or peeling for Salvo? And we concluded diving Alice because we trust Salvo to just find a way out.
Yeah, and on Tristana, that was a good pick for the old guerrilla tactics. That was very.
It was
very
a
good pick.
big part of the comp. We've had a lot of luck with that in practice.
Well, it certainly did you right this game.
Yeah, well, welcome, Swift and Tree to the caster's booth. Congratulations on the win, first off.
Don't congratulate me. Let's congratulate Wang because he hasn't won an SBL game in almost a full calendar year.
Oh.
So Wang,
That's
you're welcome.
True. And, I mean, the thing is, he was trying hard to WCF that game.
He was,
No, he tried really hard.
Hang
to
out
win
at
it.
WCF, but you can never take the WCF out of Wang, and we're ready to play around that all season.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as let's start right off, even before loading onto the Rift, the pick ban phase. I thought you guys clearly came out ahead in that. Were a lot of these picks planned ahead? Like, was there a big
Yesterday.
yesterday? Okay.
Yeah,
Hey, that's
our
plenty
team
notice.
Our team comp basically came entirely down to what we had prepared. The only pick that wasn't the optimal pick was Jarvan, but the way the game played out, I'm actually pretty happy that that's what I played instead of Fiora.
I want to ask you about your build path, Swift. So
Okay.
first you started off Ravenous Hydra, really going for that big AD assassin, but then you switched over to I believe Sunfire Cape, and then finishing it off with Deadman's Plate. What made you want to switch back over to a more beefy frontline? Was it the transition into mid game, or what caused that?
I was a little scared of Thrifty Senpai to not have any tank stats. I mean, I didn't build much MR, but I felt like I needed to have health because I couldn't get threatened. I didn't want to be threatened by 100 to 0. But also, I just think that is the best build path on Jarvan. Those Bruiser items are just so stupid good. Like, Ravenous Hydra is a lot of damage on its own, and that's when Jarvan is at its strongest, is when you've got that Ravenous Hydra. Those other two items are, like those stupid Juggernaut items are, really good for damage and tankiness at the same time. And I think Jarvan still brings enough damage to the fights at that point, which, the way I was able to zone out Thrifty or Boom Trooper if I ever got an EQ onto them, I think I had more than enough damage. But the tankiness was nice because I could survive into the fight, and I could eventually go back in for a second round of peel, or sometimes a second round of dive.
Well, you certainly played that role almost to perfection. I mean, 0 deaths. How do you disagree with that?
Yeah. And to talk about your other 0 death member Tree here, this question directed at you. So from the pick ban phase, I thought they actually had a much stronger 2v2. Janna, Lucian, I think, can bully out Tristan, Alistar pretty good early on, but it didn't seem that way. It felt like they were just not either playing it right or too scared of you because you were hitting headbutt pulverizes all day. What did you guys think of your early laning phase?
To me, that lane was playing the safest possible. Whether that's just because that's how they play, or they were afraid of our bot lane, or whatever reason, they picked Lucian for dashes away and Janna for shields. Like, they didn't want to fight us ever. And the one time I tried to force it anyway is when we ended up our one death bottom lane anyway. When I tried to force it, so I mean they just played super safe. We basically free farm, like it was basically just a farm lane bottom for the most part.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the downfalls of them. They did start off the game with a little gold lead, so I mean they were stepping in the right direction. But you guys, you methodically took down the outer ring towers, and then just you guys got too beefy, and then obviously Salvo and Wang, your 2 damage threats, just scaled incredibly well. When in the very late game scenario, was that sort of a cakewalk? It kind of looked like it was.
I love
with like
Glory.
Baron and stuff.
Glory
Yeah.
is the best item.
No, that Righteous Glory, even my butthole clenched when I saw that Righteous
Yeah.
Glory in the bot lane. I mean, you got bear slapped in the face, but I mean, that was barely enough to stop that onslaught that was about to happen.
Yeah.
I was pretty disappointed because I was going to have a great pulverize too, but Udyr stopped it.
Yeah, Udyr's a bit of a cock block, but I mean, you'll have that from time to time. So I feel like we should ask one more question before we get into the next game. Would you want to field that 30, or I have one kind of lined up?
Go for it.
So at the beginning of the game, we kind of discussed the sort of the greenness of 2K2S and how they had 3 rookies on their roster held together by Thrifty. But did you feel like the game just got out of the control and they just kind of just turned into a passive monster and they just took it? I feel like halfway through the game they just laid down and took it and let you guys walk all over them. Did you feel like their newness kind of affected that?
I think that was part of it, but it also is worth remembering this is a team that was missing their second best player. Scotchanaut is obviously going to be a really huge part of this team, and he's on vacation right now. I think it would have been much different in the top lane if Scotch was there. And I do think they need that extra veteran voice. I did think that Keizakami was a little late on some of his rotations where I was able to beat them to the punch, and when we're playing the rotation game and I'm beating the enemy top laner to the punch, we'll win 100% of games. And I think Scotch would have more experience in there, because RNG Keizakami's not a top lane main, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Well, we'll see if when Scotch gets back from the gulag, how this team will fare in week 2.
Rip Scotch.
All right, well that does it for the end of the game 2 here. Thanks once again and congratulations on the win. We're just going to take a short 5-minute break and we'll be back, folks, with game 3.